Welcome once again to the J Cruz Show. I have with me my co-host Doris.
Hi.
Oh, and we have our guest for today, Mr. Paul. You know, yes, it's a coincidence that we're interviewing the second Paul in the house. You're welcome to the house show. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes, Mr. Paul. There's a lot of questions that we'd like to ask you today, but first, we would like to hear your story.
If I tell you my story, brother, it will shock you.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I am sure that you guys want to hear his story because he has told me, and before now, that his story is the type that will shock the internet. And he's about to unveil his story.
My journey has been a really tough one. Okay. And it's been a long time coming. You know, many years back, I lost basically all of my family members.
Wow.
Jesus.
All. I mean, from my mom to my dad to my only brother.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So sorry to hear that.
So,
shit.
So, most of the times when I tell people I no longer have emotional feelings towards anything, they feel like I'm just exaggerating and all of that. But that is the kind of person I have become due to my own experiences.
Jesus. Yeah. But that was so much. How old were you?
When I lost my only brother, I was about five years old.
Wow.
Oh, young.
Yeah. I can remember vividly I had measles. I was sitting under the tree and then all of a sudden I heard my grandmother shouting, screaming and calling my brother's name. And initially I didn't understand what was going on until my grandfather went into the house and he came out and then all the women started wailing and all of that. So even at that age, I understood clearly that something was going on.
Yeah.
My mom was down with stroke at that time.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And then my dad wasn't there really. He was away. But
oh, so sorry.
Some of the toughest time.
No, I know, bro. I know it's tough, but you just have to put yourself together. You know, because your story is going to inspire a whole lot of people out there.
Yeah.
They are listening to you. So your story will help them heal. Yeah. And that's the reason why we're here on this podcast, so we can tell your story. So please.
Yeah, so I went over that grief and all of that, and then a few years later, I was playing, I think I was about 8 years then. That's 3 years later after my brother's death.
Okay.
I was playing in the compound and then I heard my mom call me from the room. And then I went in to meet her and I had my last conversation with my mother.
Wow.
Yeah. And she passed.
And then she passed that very day. It was traumatic. The day my mom was buried was the last day that I cried.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's when all your emotions drained.
Yeah.
So then, what about your dad?
My dad died a few years later.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was killed in a very brutal way. He was killed by the Fulani herdsmen.
Oh,
yeah.
that period.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's been a tough time for me. I had a few relatives who were there guiding me, but I felt alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when so suddenly no dad, no mom, the only brother that you had also died.
Can
And the wing.
imagine.
So it was a tough time for me, and
I can imagine.
ever since then I've been alone, struggling with basically everything for myself. So I've lost so much emotion.
So you mean you don't have emotions anymore?
Nah.
Okay. We're so sorry about what happened to you, but afterward, I mean, what would you say this particular experience, did to your life? I mean, were you able to? Did it make you a better person, or did you find yourself doing things that you ought not to?
I think it caused a lot of damage to my life. Even though I became stronger, it did a lot of damage.
How?
Yeah.
How? Can you share?
I was pushed into a life that I wasn't ready for.
Like what?
A life that I didn't know, There's so much that I experienced that I wish I could share, but I can only share a few,
Yes, that will help our audience to understand, how you involve and all that,
Yeah.
So
I stopped relating with people, and then I became a very, very reserved person. I felt like I was an outcast, and then there was a time when I felt like I could redeem myself. I came closer to God, and then I got this relief. Life happened to me again.
Again.
Yeah.
So this time, what happened?
I lost another friend.
Yes.
Hey.
Now, wow.
This guy just had a child,
Okay.
and then a group of people came to his house. By the time they came in, he ran into hiding, and then his wife and his child were in the house, and he took the child away from the wife. She was shouting, screaming, and all of that. They didn't even listen to her. They didn't listen to her.
Okay.
Yeah. So, on seeing this from the hiding, my friend came out.
Oh.
So he now submitted
I
himself.
imagine.
Yes,
Yeah.
he submitted himself, and they left the child and they took him outside.
Oh my God.
What did they do to him?
And what they did to this guy was horrible.
Really?
Was horrible.
And what was it?
They took him outside of the house. They butchered him bit by bit. I mean, they dismembered every part of his body and took every part to
Including you?
his friend's house, including me.
Oh my God.
And they brought his leg to me.
Oh.
I don't get it. Like
This is-
why? Why would they do that?
Imagine.
And who are these people?
These guys were cultists.
Oh. And he's also a member of a court,
He was a member of a cult,
a rivalry court.
a rival cult.
Now I can relate. When you said earlier, when we had a personal conversation, you said that you have lost your emotions. In the right word. I could not place it. But now, hearing your story, I can tell that everything you went through in life is enough for you to lose all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Oh,
So how do you move on?
like I said, I tried to move to God again. I found peace.
You go to God. Thank God.
Started fixing my life
All over again.
all over again.
Good.
Yeah. And I can only say it's been God. All true. Yeah.
But how do you feel when you sit back sometimes, your mind drives through all these things you're going through? How do you feel?
I try to be happy all the time. And even though it's been difficult, I try to be happy, because most of the times when I sit down alone and I begin to go through all of this, I feel like the only option for me is to become what the world wants people to look like.
That's deep. I want you to know that whatever it is that you have been through in life, that we got your back, and you can always come to us for anything.
What do you have to say to to our viewers?
All I can say is no matter what you are going through, no matter your situation, always stay close to God. You know,
You found peace.
and you will find peace, like you said.
That's good.
So guys, stay tuned to this page, the J Crew Show. I want you guys to stay glued to your screen because we have a lot to dish out for the public. Once again, thank you for being on our show. It was nice having you on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Till we
Thanks for
see you
coming.
again.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
All right, bye.